At Sierra, discover joyous deals on great gifts for everyone on your list. Like cozy slippers, ski gear, fishing poles, bikes, large kayaks, even larger canoes. Whew, which might lead to another discovery. Wrapping gifts is the only sport you need to stay fit this season. 'Tis the season to discover great gifts at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Add excitement to your holidays with Ohio Lottery Holiday Scratch-Offs, including $1 holiday cash and $5 holiday lucky times 10, or holiday bonus millions with a 200 times multiplier and a $2 million top prize. Plus, enjoy second chance drawings where you can win 10 times, 100 times, or 1,000 times the price of your ticket. Scratch-offs make the perfect gift, and best of all, there's no wrapping required. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC and your daily reminder that the Reds are top of the league. And today we need that daily reminder because last night we went to Newcastle, a game that we should have gone and won, a game we didn't turn up for, and we came home with a 3-3 draw and 1 point rather than 3. Newcastle had struggled for goals this season, only 14 in their 13 league matches prior to this. We had the best defensive record in the league by a decent amount. This was a game that should have suited us. Instead, we got bullied in midfield, we got outfought, and we were just really, really, really stupid. And all 3 of their goals come from lapses of concentration, poor decision-making, and indecisiveness from the Reds. So they go 1-up on 35 minutes through Isak. Now, it's a great hit. Ball comes into him and he does brilliantly. He's got Van Dijk on his right. Van Dijk is turning to come back in front of him. And he shifts the ball to his right, behind where Van Dijk is coming from. And he just hits it. Now, the more I watch it, the more I do ask, could Kelleher have done a bit better? I don't want to be harsh. I don't think he could have. I think it's hit with such venom that it's just one of those that's just, it's not savable. You might get lucky and get your hand to it. It might still end up going in with the power on it. I don't think the fault is with Kelleher here. The fault comes from how they got the ball. We had the ball. We had the ball and the opportunity to just slow the game down a little bit. You see, in the first 5 minutes, they were all over us. We were getting our pockets picked in midfield. We were getting bullied. But then we kind of got ourselves on an even keel. And for about 15 minutes or so, things were quite even. 15, maybe even 20 minutes, up to about the 25 marker. Things were about even. They had a chance. We had a chance. And then they really ramped things up. And they got really aggressive again in midfield. Now, the referee let them away with absolute murder. Absolute murder. How Joelinton walked off that pitch last night without a yellow card is absolutely beyond me. Because he committed at least 3 yellow card offences. One of which wasn't even called as a foul. One of which was identical to a foul one of our players was booked for. And the other of which was just a hatchet job on Ryan Gravenberch, where he left him in a heap on the floor. So that's what they were allowed to do. We weren't allowed to do that. But we have the ball. They've had 10 minutes of pressure and some decent chances. I think they'd hit the post or Murphy had come close either way. We stupidly give them the ball back. And they very quickly work it round. It gets to Guimaraes, it gets to Isak, and it's a goal. And we were quite lucky to get in at half-time only 1 down because we looked all over the place. But we came out in the second half. Ireland didn't make any changes. People were upset by this. But, you know, sometimes managers like to let players figure it out for themselves with obviously a bit of guidance at half-time. And within 5 minutes, we're level. And it comes from nothing. It didn't feel like we were on the brink of getting level. But Alexis picks the ball up in midfield, flights a gorgeous ball into the path of Mo. Mo does brilliantly to work himself into their box, cuts it back, and Curtis Jones is arriving. That's a brilliant first-time finish. So we're level. And now, all the air goes out of the place. Now it feels like we can go and win this game. On 62 minutes, we coughed the ball up far too easy as well. Again, rather. Tonali plays it into Guimaraes. As Tonali releases that ball, Isak is miles offside, making his way back from a previous attack. Ambling back. Tonali plays it to Guimaraes. Guimaraes takes the ball and just stands there. And Isak gets himself back on side, and none of our players press him. Nobody goes to Guimaraes. And Joe Gomez doesn't seem to realise that Isak has come back on side. And Guimaraes fires it into Isak, one touch, into the path of Anthony Gordon. Joe Gomez does well here. He gets back, and he gets goal side of him to block a left-footed attempt. Jarrell Quansah is trailing Gomez. Jarrell Quansah, playing right back, was Gordon's man, so he's trailing. As Gomez commits to blocking the left-footed effort, Jarrell Quansah's job becomes, do not let him cut back inside. When he cuts back inside, he has to come right into you. You have to be there instantly. But he slows down. As Joe commits, Quansah slows down. And then when Gordon cuts back in, he tries to go again. If he doesn't have those couple of hesitation steps, he gets there and gets a tackle in or a block in. Now, people have blamed Queeving for this one. I think that's harsh. It's pretty well struck by Gordon. It's low and it's close to the keeper's body. And I think they're always hard. I think they're always hard to save. I think if it's out a bit, I think Queeving has a good chance of saving it. He gets a hand to it. But it's a hand he's bringing back because he's expecting it to be towards the far side. I think it's harsh to blame Kelleher for that one, personally. Then Mo Salah takes over. We make subs. On comes Diaz, on comes Szoboszlai, on comes Trent. 68 minutes, Szoboszlai slides in Trent. Trent cuts it back. First time finish by Mo. Quite similar in the assist and finish to the Curtis goal. Trent's assist comes from a similar area as Mo's on the Curtis goal. Mo's finish is not high into the roof of the net like Curtis's. It's a lovely, kind of clipped finish into the far corner. Then Mo hits the crossbar. Does brilliantly to get his way into the box. Lashes a right-footed shot. Comes off the crossbar. Then on 83, we go 3-2 up. We've fought our way back. We've come from behind twice. And now we're ahead. In the most unlikely of circumstances, a game in which we have not played well, we're now winning 3-2. And it's a brilliant step over by Dom, a lovely ball in by Trent, and a great finish by Mo. Touch, turn, finish. Brilliant. We're 3-2 up. Nobody has scored 3 goals on us this season. So we're going to win this game now, right? I felt that way. It really did feel that way. It felt like we were going to win the game now. I think Arna makes a mistake here. I think as soon as that third goal goes in, we need to be making a substitution. I think Endo has to be coming on for Darwin Núñez at that moment. Darwin will get to him. Awful. I think Arna misses one here. I think he should. Now, look, his first substitutions worked brilliantly. Diaz came on. He was a good outlet for us. Trent comes on. He gets 2 assists. Szoboszlai comes on. He's involved in 2 goals. But I think he should have brought Endo on for Darwin as soon as we went 3-2 up. So it's 3-2. We get to the 90th minute. They get a pretty soft free kick. And the ball's flighted in. And Kelleher comes for it and then decides to leave it. Lack of awareness, lack of communication among the defence, for certain. How nobody gives him a shout and tells him that he can't leave it. He leaves it. Schär sneaks in behind him. It's a great finish by Schär. It is. From that angle, it's a great finish. But Kelleher has to claim that. Claim it, flap at it, and slap it out to the side, whatever. I understand that the logic is let it go out for a goal kick and then you can milk some of the clock. Catch it, hit the deck, wait till everybody clears out of your box, then put the ball on the floor. And the clock is still running that way. A lot of referees, when the ball goes out of play, they'll start adding time in their head. Might be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but they'll automatically start adding some time. But if you catch that and do the Pickford, catch it, hit the floor, hold the ball into yourself, and just lie there and wait for your box to clear. And then get up, roll it out towards the side, and take as much time as you can on the ball. The clock still runs. It's a more effective way to time waste. But unfortunately, he left it. Schär scores. They equalise. It's 3-3. Now, I do also think Trent warrants some criticism here. Trent is marking Fabian Schär. They're having a bit of a wrestling match. Schär gets loose and Trent doesn't follow him at all. Just stands there watching it. Like, Trent needs to go with Schär. Has to. Absolutely has to. Has to stay goal side of Schär. So I think Trent does warrant a bit of criticism here. But it is ultimately on Queevy and Kelleher. Like I say, I think the communication had to be better as well. Someone had to give him a shout. And nobody did, apparently. Or someone gave him a shout to leave it. And if so, they should be hung, drawn, and quartered. In terms of performance level, I thought Robbo had a decent game. Not great, but decent. He looked a little bit leggy, but overall, I thought he was fine. I thought Virgil was generally fine. He'll be disappointed in himself for the Isak goal, I think. But Joe Gomez's positioning on that goal was poor. I thought Joe was dreadful last night. After a brilliant game against City, I thought Joe was pretty dreadful last night. Joe Kwanzaa played right back. I've seen a lot of people criticize him. He wasn't good. He wasn't as bad as Joe. He wasn't the problem last night. Kelleher is getting quite a lot of criticism. Kelleher made a huge save from Anthony Gordon at 1-0 after Joe just gifted the ball to Gordon and sent him in on goal. I don't think Kelleher warrants a huge amount of criticism because I think we should have won the game regardless. I think other players made mistakes on those first two goals that should have meant that we were never in a situation where the third goal would have mattered. But he absolutely warrants criticism for that goal. No question. Gravenberch was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Soft. Lazy. Woeful on the ball. It's not his first bad performance this season. Not by any stretch. But it's by far his worst performance. Like, that's a legitimate 2 out of 10 type performance. Alexis was affected by a yellow card that he had to take because Gravenberch was too lazy to make a proper challenge on Schär. But I thought he grew back into the game second half. And especially when Szoboszlai came on, I thought he really ticked up. So overall, a solid performance from him. Same with Curtis Jones. Overall, solid. Mo was Mo. 2 goals and an assist. First half, he was poor. Like, let's be really honest about it. First half, Mo was poor. Lewis Hull did a really good job. Second half, Mo tore them asunder. Could have had a hat-trick. Ended up with 2. Got an assist. Phenomenal player. Should have had 2 assists, by the way. Cody Gakpo.
This episode is brought to you by Disney Plus. Game on, because ESPN Plus content is available on Disney Plus. You can watch your favorites from Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus together like never before. With ESPN Plus, unwrap a full day of NBA action on Christmas Day. Tip off the festivities with the Spurs and Knicks, followed by the Mavs and Timberwolves. Then a clash between the Lakers and Warriors, followed by the 76ers and Celtics. And finally, the Nuggets face off against the Suns, all streaming December 25th. Then with Hulu, watch the terrifying sci-fi thriller Alien Romulus, where a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the ultimate horror. And on Disney Plus, follow the adventures of 4 kids across the galaxy as they meet unlikely allies and enemies in Star Wars Skeleton Crew, starring Jude Law. All of these and more now streaming and available with a bundle subscription. Visit DisneyPlus.com for details. Terms apply.
So, you want to be a marketer. It's easy. You just have to score a ton of leads and figure out a way to turn them all into customers. Plus, manage a dozen channels, write 1 million blogs, and launch 100 campaigns all at once. When that's done, simply make your socials go viral and bring in record profits. No sweat. Okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. But with HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools, launching benchmark-breaking campaigns is easier than ever. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Time to move? Skip the hassles of selling during the holiday season and sell your home directly to Opendoor. Request an all-cash offer in minutes close and get paid in days. You can even pick your close date so you can move after New Year's. Start your move at opendoor.com or download the Open Door app. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Inc., license 02061130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in its other markets. Terms and conditions apply.
Cody settled into crossing the ball quite early when it felt like if he'd really decided to cut inside and go at Livramento on his inside shoulder, he could have had some success. He missed a sitter, and I'm not having that it's Darwin's fault. It's just not. It's entirely Cody Gakpo's fault. It's a gorgeous flighted cross from Mo. Pope comes. Now, Gakpo is watching this cross in the air the entire way. As he's watching it, he sees Nick Pope sail through, nowhere near the ball. He then knows the goal is empty. So he either heads it for goal and makes an absolute mess of it, or he heads it across goal, in which case, why the fuck haven't you headed it at goal? You've got an empty net to put that ball in. You can see you've got an empty net to put that ball in. Put that ball in the back of that empty net. That is a huge Gakpo miss. That is not a Darwin Núñez miss. But that doesn't excuse Darwin. Darwin was absolutely fucking dreadful last night. Darwin, Gravenberch and Gomez were probably the three worst performances by any Liverpool player this season. And they all came in the one game. They were just shocking from start to finish. But Darwin, like, for the love of God, lad, open your eyes before you pass the ball so you can maybe see where you're passing the ball. I don't know if he needs contact lenses or what the crack is. But his passing was all over the place. His finishing, he had one chance. Darwin had one chance. The Cody one is Cody's fault, not Darwin's fault. But Darwin did have a huge chance. The ball drops to him. He's, 5 yards out? 6 yards out? And he's right in front of goal. Now, it's on his left foot. But I don't care. My left foot was only ever for standing on, and I still reckon I'd at least got this on target. It might have hit somebody, but it'd have got it on target. Darwin goes to welly it, and he hooks it so badly that it threatens the corner flag. Like, it might have even gone out for a throw-in. It's just shocking. But everything about his performance last night was awful. It was him who coughed up the ball on the second goal. And, like, I've been one of Darwin's biggest defenders. I'm done with that now. Not signing up for any more save the Núñez causes at this point. If you want to get involved with saving Darwin, call Pep and Linders. Call Jurgen Klopp. Call them. Don't be bothering me with this. This fella has gone backwards enormously from where he was last year. Now, I've seen some people say, oh, well, Slot's not involving him as much in the build-up play. Yeah, because when he does, he makes a tit of it. Darwin is working hard off the ball, and no one would ever question the lad's desire. No one would question that. The lad puts in a shift. But Darwin, buddy, my brother in Christ, it is time to start learning a rabbit. Because you got to go, and the only place I can think that will get decent money from him is the Saudis. It is imperative, ideally in January, but if not, then next summer, it is imperative that we replace him, that we sign a new number 9. Personally, I'd sell Jota too, because the guy just can't stay fit. And when he gets hurt, it takes him an extraordinary length of time to come back. So I'd be up for selling both of them and get as much as you can for the pair. and go and buy 2 new ones. Go and buy Victor Gyökeres, ideally. I think he would bring a huge boost in terms of goals to this team. I think his work rate fits, his link-up play, his hold-up play, all of that fits. If we look at what Arna was doing with Santiago Jimenez and we take that as a blueprint for what he wants in a number 9, Victor Gyökeres is that turned up to 16 or 17, let alone 11. Victor Gyökeres is a Harry Kane regen. And like Kane, he's a late bloomer. Like Kane, his game will age well. So despite the fact he will turn 27 in the summer, he doesn't have massive mileage on him. And I think you can expect him to carry on scoring at a very good rate till he's 33, 34. So he's a natural finisher. He scores all types of goals. If not him, I still think João Pedro from Brighton would make a ton of sense as that 9-10 hybrid. A lot of people saying Matheus Cunha. I would love us to sign him. Like I said, I'd be selling Nunes and Jota. So I would buy Cunha as the Jota replacement. But he wouldn't be a 9. Like, he's just not a 9. He's brilliant, though. Like, he's so good. Him and Gyökeres, him and João, happy days. If it was Gyökeres and some very promising 19, 20-year-old, great. If it was João and some promising 19, 20-year-old, great. But I think we need to make significant changes to that position. Like, if you look at it, we're getting elite production from the right wing, obviously, with Mo. It's stupid how good this fella is. We're getting good production from the left wing. Now, it's split between 2 players, but we're getting good production. However, Luis Diaz hasn't scored a league goal since September. That's problematic. And Cody's only got 2 league goals this season. So it's not great. It's not great. But we've only got 4 league goals from the striker position. That's the biggest problem here. In the attack, there's other problems behind. And like these things, we're still top of the league, even with problems. But every team has problems. Ours are smaller than a lot of teams. But we will get people who will hear me saying, you know, we've got problems in different parts of the team. And they'll go, oh, we're 7 points clear. What more do you want? I want us to be better. I always want us to be better. And you should always want us to be better. You know, when we won the European Cup in 2019 and didn't buy anybody, we fucked up royally our chances to have an extended period on top. But you were happy with the 1 league title in 2020 and no thoughts for what's to come, which has been 4 years of failing to win either league or Champions League. Do you know what you do when you win a league title? Do you know what you do? You build to win the next one. You know what you do when you win the second one? You build to go win that third one. Then you do it again. And you do it again. You know what you do when you win a European Cup? You know what you do when you're the number 1 team in Europe? You put your foot on the throat of all your opponents and you use that moment where you're the number 1 team in Europe. You use that moment to your advantage and you take advantage of it by buying players that improve you. Because despite the fact that we have a tremendous team, there are absolutely areas we can improve. Absolutely areas we can improve. Quite easily as well. Like, there's a number of strikers that would be an improvement on Darwin or Jota. A number of them. There's left wingers we could buy who would be an improvement on Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. There's a lot of holding midfielders that would be an improvement on Ryan Gravenberch. Would then allow Ryan Gravenberch to play as an 8 or a 10 where he belongs. There's a lot of left backs who've been improvement on Andy Robertson. A lot of them. At this point, a lot of them. You know, there are areas of this team we can improve. And that should be the aim. That should be the goal. The goal should not be, let's just win one more league title and then happy days. We don't need to win anything else for the next 5-6 years. You know, the goal should be, let's win 2 of 3, 3 of 4, 3 of 5 even, whatever. The goal is always to win more. That's what this football club was built on. Imagine telling Bob Paisley, "It's all right, Bob, we won the league 5 years ago. Don't worry about it." What do you mean winning another European Cup? Shouldn't we win one there? We're grand. We won a European Cup. Not at all. Not at all. Bill Shankly said, when you're second, you're nothing. Bob Paisley referred to finishing second as the bad times. Might have been joking, but he meant it. That's what this club is. And yes, it's a different era now with the cheaters in Manchester and the cheaters in blue in London and Tony Pulis' Stoke in London and United with all the money in the world to spend. But that doesn't fucking matter. The ambitions and aims of this club should remain the same, which is to win the major trophies year on year. And you do that by continuing to improve yourself. And one of the ways we can do it is by buying a number 9. Darwin, buddy. Arabic. Trust me. Right. Let's have a quick look at AnfieldIndex.com. Also, can we just say that Joelinton is a thug? He's an absolute thug. Ruud Gullit heaps praise on Arne Slot, and Liverpool star described as a revelation. So I'm assuming he's talking with Gravenberg. Great timing after his stinker last night. There's a piece about Mo Salah, a piece about Arne speaking on last night's game. Mo, obviously our man of the match last night. Lessons learned, 2 points dropped. Podcast-wise then, there is the Gags Tandon show with Harinder joining him on this one. There is then Arne Slot's press conference if you want to go listen to that. There is the David Lynch podcast. It's worth pointing out, as David does, Arsenal lost at St. James's this season. So even though they did stoke their way to a 2-0 victory at home to United last night, with 2 questionable goals. One, Jurriën Timber pushes Højlund in the back, causing Højlund to miss the ball and give Timber a free header, which he scores from. And the second, Saliba pushes the man out of his way, and then Thomas Partey's header back across goal hits Saliba in the arse. And Saliba celebrates like he knew all about it, which is just, it speaks volumes of who these people are. But they're allowed push and shove a lot. And I do wonder if that's something that we need to implement a bit more. I've been a bit more physical at set pieces, shoving lads out of the way a bit more. But yeah, despite them winning last night and the gap in the league closing to 7 points, it's still fucking 7 points. And they lost at Newcastle. So it's not the end of the world. If we beat Everton on the weekend, it will. Last night will feel like a better result. As long as we beat Everton. Now, Chelsea and Stoke have tough games this weekend. Stoke go to Fulham. Chelsea go to Spurs. So both of them could drop points. Both of them could absolutely drop points. So we just need to take care of our own business. And we're up first. So we win. All of that extra pressure then loads on to them. Now they have to win. We just need to take care of our own business. Podcast-wise, then, obviously, there's also the post-match Raw from last night. Guy Drinkle joined myself and Trev for a good old chat about Newcastle, brain fog, Andy Madley been a terrible set of lads. Joelinton, I mean, Jesus wept. Yeah, and Mo Salah being a wonderful set of lads. Right, that's going to do me for today. I hope the weather is better where you are than it is here, because Jesus Christ, lads, not even a duck would want to be out in that. It is absolutely rancid. I went for a walk earlier with the dogs, and there's a hill about half a mile from where I live, and there was not like a trickle of water. This was like a full-blown stream of water rushing down, coming off the fields of the farmers have their fields vented or whatever the fuck you want to call it, into this trough that runs down by the hill. And the water was pouring out of that onto the road, like a lot of water, because of how wet it is. Needless to say, the dogs didn't really enjoy their walk, but they had to have it anyway. Right, enough of that. I will see. What am I talking about? I will see you all. Actually, I won't be here tomorrow. I have a text message that might confirm that Dave Davis. Oh, you'll have to ignore Shabuzi there. I hadn't. Yes, Dave Davis is covering tomorrow. So there you go. I'll be back. I'll be back probably Monday. I might do Saturday. I'll speak to Dave and see if he wants me to do Saturday. I know Saturdays he normally does, but given he's doing tomorrow, I might just jump on and do Saturday. But if not, I'll be here Monday. But you will have quite a bit of Davis next week, because I'm not here Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful weekend. If I don't speak to you over the weekend, I'll be back for Raw on Saturday. And hopefully 3 points at Woodison. That'd be wonderful. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Every day, thousands of Comcast engineers and technologists like Leslie put people at the heart of everything they create.
With my team at Comcast, we developed the Xfinity voice remote and tested it to recognize different types of accents, inflections, and languages.
New movies.
Movies for kids.
Películas para las familias.
Now 40 million voice commands a day are heard by the Xfinity voice remote. Visit ComcastCorporation.com to learn more.
Experience holiday cheer at Tanger Outlets with savings up to 70% off your favorite brands. From fragrances to accessories and the latest styles, discover the best gifts for everyone on your list. Save big at Nike Factory Store, Michael Kors, Under Armour, Coach, Polo Ralph Lauren, Kate Spade New York, and so many more. Unwrap the best at Tanger Outlets. Hundreds of brands, endless gifting options. Plan your trip at Tanger.com.